Welcome to the Meteorology Matters podcast. We all rely on those weather forecasts, right? Every single day.
Absolutely. Whether it's just planning your commute or needing serious warnings during bad storms.
Exactly. And the technology behind it all. Well, it's way more involved and honestly more crucial than most of us probably realize.
It really is.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to zero in on the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's network, their Doppler weather radars.
X-rad. Yeah.
That's the one, NEXXRAD. And these things, they do way more than just spot rain. They give us these incredibly detailed views inside storms.
Showing things like wind speed, right? Even potential tornadoes.
Precisely. That's how those timely, sometimes light-saving alerts get issued. I mean, think about it. You check the radar on your phone when a storm's coming.
All the time.
Well, this network is the powerhouse doing the work behind the scenes.
Okay, but that leads us to something pretty concerning that surfaced recently.
Yeah, it's worrying. NOAA has actually put out alerts about potential threats.
Yeah.
Aimed right at these radar sites.
Threats? What kind of threats?
Well, there's this group, Veterans on Patrol. They've been identified as an anti-government militia group.
Okay.
And they seem to have this completely bizarre idea that these weather radars are actually weather weapons.
Other weapons, seriously.
Seriously. And what's really alarming is they're apparently encouraging members to run, quote, penetration drills.
Penetration drills to do what?
To find vulnerabilities in the sites. The ultimate goal seems to be destroying them.
Wow. Okay, that's not just some fringe theory then. That sounds like a real, actual danger to the infrastructure we rely on.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
And, to really grasp how fundamentally wrong that weather weapon idea is, it helps understand a bit about how the radars actually function.
Okay, yeah. Let's get into that. How do they work?
So basically, the radar sends out these short pulses of energy, just zip out into the atmosphere.
Right.
And when that energy hits things, raindrops, hail, snow, even insects.
Yeah.
Sometimes a tiny bit of it bounces back. It reflects
Like an echo.
exactly like an echo. The radar dish then listens for those faint returning signals. But here's the clever part. It analyzes not just how strong the echo is, but also how the signal's phase has shifted.
Okay, phase shift. What does that tell you?
That shift, that's the Doppler effect in action. It tells us if the raindrops, or whatever reflected the signal, are moving towards the radar or away from it, and how fast.
Ah, so it's seeing movement within the storm, not just where the rain is.
Precisely. That's the magic of Doppler radar. It lets meteorologists see rotation inside thunderstorms, the kind that can spawn tornadoes. That gives us those vital extra minutes for warnings.
And these are powerful machines, right?
Oh, definitely. They transmit at 750,000 watts. That beam travels hundreds of miles. And X-rad is sophisticated. It scans multiple layers of the atmosphere simultaneously.
Multiple layers.
Yeah, during severe weather, it can check up to 14 different elevation angles in about 5 minutes. It generates a huge amount of data.
Okay, so thinking about that weather weapon idea again, it sounds even more ridiculous now.
Well, here's the kicker. These incredibly powerful, sophisticated radars, they spend almost all their time just listening, passively receiving those faint echoes.
Really? How much time are they actually transmitting?
Get this. Each radar transmits for a grand total of about 7 seconds every hour.
7 seconds out of 60 minutes.
Yep. The other, 59 minutes and 53 seconds? It's just listening. So this image of it constantly blasting the sky with some kind of control beam, it just doesn't compute with how the technology actually works.
That completely debunks the weapon idea. It's mostly a receiver.
Exactly. And they're incredibly sensitive, too, especially in what they call clear air mode.
What's that for?
Well, the antenna turns slower, samples the air for longer, so it can pick up really tiny things, dust, bugs. It helps detect light snow, too.
So it can pick up non-weather stuff.
It can. Sometimes flocks of birds, or even energy from the sun around sunrise or sunset. But there's sophisticated software filtering most of that out, focusing on the precipitation data we need.
So these threats we were talking about, it's not just about potentially breaking some expensive equipment, is it?
Not at all. It's about potentially blinding us, losing access to this constant stream of really vital information.
And the timing for this is not great, I understand.
Yeah, that's another layer to this. The National Weather Service is reportedly facing some pretty significant staffing shortages right now, including a lot of vacancies for the electronics technicians, the very people who maintain and repair these complex radar systems.
So if something gets damaged,
It could take longer to fix. There's talk of a hiring freeze, too, which certainly doesn't help. So any deliberate damage could really impact our ability to keep the whole network running smoothly.
It's unsettling. This technology, it's designed purely to help keep people safe, to give warnings,
Hmm.
and now it's being targeted based on, well, based on nothing.
Yeah.
Complete fantasy.
It's staggering, isn't it? The idea that these systems, mostly listening, transmitting for mere seconds an hour, are viewed as offensive weapons.
And people are actively plotting to take them down. That has real public safety consequences.
Absolutely. If you sort of zoom out this whole situation, it really highlights a dangerous disconnect from basic science, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the spread of misinformation.
These radar networks, they have been genuine game changers for forecasting severe weather. They've saved countless lives, reduced property damage over decades. Seeing them targeted like this is deeply troubling.
It also makes you appreciate the people at the National Weather Service even more, right?
Definitely. These are professionals working incredibly hard, monitoring storms, interpreting all this data.
Giving us the forecasts and warnings we depend on.
Exactly. And now, on top of all that, they have to deal with these kinds of security worries. It's an added burden they really shouldn't have to face.
Their dedication is pretty clear, keeping us informed despite everything.
Yeah, their commitment is absolutely critical, maybe more now than ever, given this environment. They're battling atmospheric chaos and now.
Right. You know, for more great weather insights, you should definitely follow meteorologist Rob Jones. He's on Instagram as meteorologist, on TikTok as TV meteorologist, and you can find him on YouTube by searching Rob Jones Hurricane. That YouTube channel also has the Meteorology Matters podcast playlist.
Good shout. It's worth thinking about, too. Just consider for a moment.
Hmm.
What would it actually mean for your community if one of these radars near you went down?
Yeah.
Whether it's because of staffing issues, delaying repairs, or much worse, because someone deliberately damaged it based on these conspiracies.
Our ability to prepare to react to severe weather, it would be seriously impacted, wouldn't it?
It really would. It just hammers home how vital this scientific infrastructure is, and frankly, how dangerous it is when misinformation starts to have real-world consequences like this.